At the end of practice, basically, like the clips I sent were like there were some good examples, some bad examples, some like stuff in between, right? And it's like not no one's perfect. Like you got to make adjustments all the time, and um, so I just wanted to like kind of talk about it and like show where people did good stuff and where to improve.
Neato. Sounds good.
Cool. So I'll get started. I'm recording now. Everyone who's on the channel, and we're on Twitch too. We're on Twitch Live. So yeah, we talked about denying space and disrupting. And then D, so denying, we want to deny the most dangerous places on the field. So if we're in like the reset position, it's up line, cutters are deep, an open side cone in the end zone. Use your body, place your body in between those spaces. Um, so we're disrupting on the mark, we're cutting off flow. So like after an in cut, we're kind of flashing for like a straight up to deny like a huck or something, and then we're denying the break space afterwards. Um, And one thing we didn't talk about disrupting is if we're poaching, right? We want to actually disrupt in a way that is disrupting on the field, right? We're not trying to hide. We're not trying to half poach. We're not like trying to half cover somebody and also poach the lane. Like you have to basically choose to poach and change the space. And then once your opportunity to poach is over, you have to find your person and cover them again. And then earn the D. When their opponents make mistakes, we're close by, right? We do the little things to get us there, and then a slight miss throw, a high throw, something like that. We can earn our Ds. All right. So the first one was getting beat deep with poor body position. So I think I ran this a couple times, but so Stu cuts in, and then here we're gonna focus on Sarah here. So this defender is in a great body position, right? We talked about this early, right? So Sarah can't come straight. She can't take this line straight deep, right? But this defender is locked too much into the thrower. So then she's going to over pursue, and then Sarah can just turn and go deep. And then the defender did a great job turning her hips and like committing. But I mean, once you get turning, get the hips turn or like get those few steps early, it's it's game over. I mean, she probably could have put her head down and looked straight once the disc kind of went off. But I mean, it's tough. Like there's small adjustments that will kill you in like against a good team. So I honestly maybe I was getting beat deep with good position. Did you hear that?
Yeah, I'll check. Hold on.
Yeah, I think all the dishes just fell over. Anyways, I think that could actually probably get put in getting beat deep with good body position. I mean, it was pretty good. I mean, it wasn't the best, but she started off really well, and it was good there. So the next one I believe is chalky. Yeah. So here we're playing. Amp is playing Public Enemy. They run like a zipper type play, so the two women matching in the back create space for the man matching, two man matching in the backfield, so there's four women matching on the field in total. So it's a really nice isolation for a man match deep. Um, Jockey was covering his person very tight in good position, and then he kind of had a lapse. Like he's like, "Oh, I'm in the middle of the stack. I'm not. I don't need to be anywhere." And his back was to the deep space, right? So if we pause freeze frame here, his back is to the deep space. So between having his back to the deep space and then also like kind of lapsing on where he should be, the cutter was able to just slide right by him, and then it's just a one-on-one like nightmare that he's got like two or three steps on. So if we turn our hips a little bit more, we can kind of shuffle. Um, we could probably give maybe a little bit more of a buffer, but you still want to be in maybe an arm's reach depending on where you are. And then we got to be ready to go even if we're in the middle of the stack. Um, so yeah, this part is I talked about the vocab word recovering. So this I think some of it's coming in flow. Um, and like we could have recovered. If it's yeah, this one's me, right? So here I am up in the middle of the front of the stack here. Calvin's a handler for Amp, and I know he wants to handle, and so I was personally trying to challenge him. I mean, he's taller than me, but um, you can kind of see what happens here, and like for me analyzing myself, it's like I need to do better of adjusting the position. So there's an in cut here. He's kind of pushing. The last back cut made a open side cut, and now I'm last back all of a sudden, and he's doing a great job of creating that cut. So I'm parallel with him, and I mean a good thrower is gonna put it into a space that I can't reach, right? So that's kind of what happened here. And I commented, someone said Sting your last back, right? So like they knew that I shouldn't be parallel with Calvin in that situation. I need to back hip and deny that deep space. So here's now the reverse. Um, I'm putting someone else deep. So this is me. This is a flood play. Um, and this defender, he does a great job from Public Enemy creating that back hip buffer, but I'm able to turn the page. He thinks I'm just like a decoy, and I just don't stop, and I just keep going. Um, I mean, once I get ahead of him, I get the line. It's it's pretty good, but like he kind of gave up the buffer once I got to like past this middle line because he's like he's not going to go deep. I can now play on the open side, um, and so like kind of giving that little bit of buffer in the back will be helpful. Maybe the teams that we play might not be as aggressive deep cutting, but someone like a team like Amp will be. Denying and disrupting on defense. Let's see what. Cool. Yeah, so here is a play from Rally versus Amp at regionals last year. We're going to look at a Amp defender who is covering Summer, who's one of the fastest players on Rally. And he's just dogging him, right? So, I mean, there are times where he's not perfect, right? But he's making Summer work hard. So Rally is host stack here. Summer is the one. If you're across 1, 2, 3, 4 is the cutters, and I mean he's just dogging him. So the first cut you'll see he's gonna try to attack deep, and then once he gets to a space where he's like this thrower is not gonna be able to make that anymore, he comes under and then tries to take it away. So now he's starting to deny the under space because he thinks that the thrower is not gonna have it. He's absolutely right. BT is not going to make that throw. That is a good call as a defender to try to make that play there. So now he denies the underspace. He challenges. He's dogging. So now he clears. Summer clears to the open side, right? And so he's just getting into space, right? So he wants him to stay on that rail. Anything that comes up down the middle, the defender, Jake can challenge. So as long as he doesn't get past him, he doesn't do it. So he just runs parallel with him and he denies that space. He creates a little bit of contact there, which I mean it could go either way. But like if Summer was running into him, I mean to me it's incidental. If we go back here, his back now is to that space, right? But like he was able to track the cutter. So we talked about losing the cutter if they're behind you potentially, but now he has to turn around 180 degrees, and so he's gonna get beat in this situation. So now didn't quite happen, but he never was able to recover that space. He gave it to him. Okay, now the defender is disrupting, right? So he's kind of coming in flat. He's gonna take away that first big throw. He's gonna take it away, and now he's gonna fall into like a normal flick. Summer's tired, right? He made a big cut here, went across the field, came back deep, and then went in. He's tired. He makes a mistake, right? He throws it to the wrong shoulder of Katina, and then they're able to capitalize. So that's if we watch it again in real time, they're starting over here. He turned the wrong way on his hips there, but it was okay because he had the space. He was denying that space early. It gave him opportunity to kind come back around. All right, so this next one is the opposite. So I wanted to get another woman matching player. So this is Jen with Rally covering, I don't know, from AMP. And we'll just watch her as she makes the plays. So she's denying the deep space, She's getting closer, right? She got closer. She's playing that back hip. So she gave her a little bit of buffer, but you could see she was thinking about trying to hit that second gear there and trying to make that opportunity. She went a little no around when the sideline was helping her, but it was a pretty good mark. She stayed close. She denied the upline space. She challenged it. That was the perfect example of a recover here. So the defender gets the upline. Jen, you could see her accelerate into that space. So she's fighting to get in front of her. So that cutter has to go through Jen to get into that space. Every little millisecond counts. And then she's like, okay, I can't go deep. I'm clearing back to the space. Jen's behind her, but she's still trying to stay tight. Recovers again behind her, right? So she's now denying that deep space. This was the MO from the game. I told everyone the Amp's gonna attack us deep. She turns right, and then they weren't gonna hit that throw to begin with, and they were able to hit that other throw. But we'll watch it again. I think Jen would have tightened up if that big open side cut were to come again. But you could see, like, if the thrower made a slight back shoulder throw on this or a wrong shoulder throw, she was going to eat it. I guess somebody yelled around here, which is why she came around. So that's kind of fair. All right. And that's all I got. Are there any questions? Anyone want to review anything else?
I don't really have any specific questions. But yeah, that all made sense.
Did it? Cool. I mean, you could be honest and be like, I disagree. I don't think that someone should have did X, Y, or Z, or I'm open to discuss.
I don't think. I mean, I just think like defenses. I think they did a good job. They all were like, and all the good examples you use, they were all like at least taking away whatever they thought was most dangerous. And like, it's sort of like you sort of have to pick your poison, which I think is a good thing to do. But I also think forcing them to pick the worst poison, I think is, in your example of like you defending, initially you were kind of like making them pick the worst poison, which was their handler going out. But then soon that changed to you were making them pick something that they wanted to do in the deep shot since no one else is there. But just sort of like those sort of like constant changing circumstances that are adjusting to, but the whole time making sure you're taking something away seemed to be a good takeaway that I had from it.
Cool. Yeah, and I mean, I think it's very regional, based on like play. Like if we played like a Southeast team versus like an AMP or a mixtape that are gonna like huck and attack deep versus like a Colorado team, like they all play a little differently, and like just kind of having a little bit of a, hey, we're gonna try to take this XYZ away from them as a team or against our personnel. That's always helpful. So yeah, I mean, we'll see. Yeah, what kind of things that we go up against, right? So I think it sounded like Legion was pretty good at hucking to their women matching players. So like maybe we make the adjustment there. But I know a lot of teams are usually good at hucking to their men matching players. So trying to make the adjustment there and denying that space and then getting the women match to help in the under space or something.
Yeah, I mean, this obviously was focused on individual D, but I would love us as a team to think about how do you do help last back and help D, and how does that change the decisions we make as individual defenders. But that's a conversation for another day.
Agreed. Cool. Well, yeah, I guess that's it for everyone here. I'll post this in the Slack and I'll upload this to YouTube. Um, and yeah, we'll see where it goes, I guess, from there. Maybe we can start more conversation or footwork or whatever if people like this.
Thank you, Stng.
All right. Thanks, Jeremy and Hemo.
See ya.
See ya.